development and involvement with the new youth apprenticeship program that was the Wenatchee School District, that the Wenatchee School District is developing. He has started his third year as the unofficial Assistant Director of Operational Technology at the Wenatchee School District, and is the supervisor over two youth apprentice technicians. Over two new youth apprentice technicians. The program is still in its youth, having only begun in April of 2019. Please help me welcome Brandon.
One thing I have learned is that change is inevitable, especially in IT. When the apprenticeship was first proposed to our department, there was some reservation. There was new ground. No one had done this before in the state. But change is inevitable. So we soldiered on through the paperwork, through the meetings about paperwork, and finally came to a conclusion: yeah, we'll give this a try. We'll see what happens. We eventually decided to conduct some interviews. We collected resumes from a number of high school students and sat down with them in a room, one student against 10 people interviewing on the committee. Not intimidating, right? 16-year-old, 17-year-old walking into a room of older people about to grill them and ask them a whole bunch of questions. What could be better? We found, as we interviewed these kids were sharp. They knew things. They knew things about our field of information technology. And they were ready to develop and grow their skill set. They were ready to move forward. So we sat down after we conducted our interviews, discussed amongst ourselves, who was the best candidate? After all, we're hiring one person. We couldn't find one candidate. We had to hire our top two. And we had to limit it at two. My boss sat next to me in our discussion and said, I think we should hire all of them. I said, that's great, Dave. However, I can't supervise 10 more people. So we decided on two. You'll hear from one of them, Amy, a little later on. Currently, our apprenticeship program is in development. We are able to give our apprentice a varied experience in a number of skills in IT. Anything from basic help desk function, to fixing computers, to working on the network, to their favorite project over the summer, which was punching down a whole bunch of network cables in the high school. As we continue to build our program, I look forward to watching these apprentices grow and seeing their skill set develop and seeing them develop as individuals as well. IT apprenticeships are starting to become more popular. And it's an interesting concept. A lot of people think apprenticeships in the trades, plumbing, electrical, those areas. But IT is already built as a pseudo-apprenticeship program. Most people in IT work up through the ranks. You start at help desk, where you take phone calls and fix people's stuff over the phone. You work your way up to service desk, where you're going out and helping people and fixing their machines. Then you move into management, and so on and so forth. So we're already kind of structured for it. Throw an apprentice on the first two levels of help desk and service desk, and holy moly, you're going to get one rounded candidate by the end of this. That's pretty neat. So my goal with this whole program was to see what we could develop, to see what kind of employee I could get from a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. Now, I'll be honest with you, I work in an education setting. I had some wavering expectations, but I was hoping for the best. You'll notice that I refer to my apprentices, Amy and Peyton, as apprentices. They're not students, they're not kids, they're not kiddos. They are my employees. On their employee badge, it says technician apprentice. It says staff. They have their own staff ID badge. That means that I trust them to uphold the rigorous structure of our department. And they have proven that well. They have earned that trust, and they have earned that respect. Now this staff badge that they get to walk around the high school with is kind of fun for them. However, it's only good for an hour a day. But it's still fun for that 1 hour that they get. The Wenatchee Schools Computer Technician Apprenticeship looks like a typical apprenticeship, just with different tools of the trade. If you're familiar with an apprenticeship, there's 3 levels of apprentices. The first level, you start off and you get to follow the guy around. So Amy and Peyton started off following my technicians in the high school, and we'd go fix a computer over here, so they'd be over our shoulder and they'd shadow us for a while. They completed that in a few months. The next level of an apprenticeship is to start doing with someone over your shoulder, whispering into your ear, now that one is that one. Small corrections. They completed that task over the summer. Now, we are to the point where they can do the work by themselves, and we come in for a quality check at the end. Pretty cool. Until you think about their clients. These students, apprentices, are fixing their own teachers' equipment. So if something goes wrong, their teachers know about it. And we try and save them from that embarrassment. But every once in a while, a teacher will get a sly look of, I know why Curtis is here. But we never embarrass them on purpose. This past summer, Amy and Peyton worked their tails off. They worked 6-hour days, Monday through Friday, over the summer. Now, to those of us in the room who work 8 or more hours a day, that doesn't seem like much. Consider the fact that this is a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old on summer break from school, and they're coming in to work with me, the old guy, for 6 hours a day. That's pretty impressive. Now, granted, they do get paid, so that's pretty cool, and they learn the best part of getting paid, payroll taxes. Because what better life lesson is there than payroll taxes? Summer is our busy season. That's why they were able to work 6-hour days. It's when everyone is out of the buildings, we can take systems down, we can work on everything we need to. This past summer, we took the old phone system out of the whole high school, gutted it, and put a new system in. This took a process of I don't know how many weeks. I lost count, and I tried not to count, just to keep myself going to the next step and the next step. My apprentices went around to every single classroom and punched down wires in every single data jack. Some classrooms had more than one. They then went to every single closet where all these wires come back in. In our high school, there's 6 of them. And punched down the other ends, end to end. Then, after that, if that wasn't enough, they got to test their work. They have a little device they put on one end, a little device on the other end. They each have handheld radios. They say go, we go, and if it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I hear on the radio, Brandon, can you come to room 211? And then I go help them out and see what happens. They did really well. Very rarely did I have to go to whatever room they were in. Most of the time, I let them go off on their own. I kept in radio contact, kept whatever they needed, took care of them. But they were able to do most of the work on their own. It was fantastic. One of the things that we learned about the high school, for those unfamiliar with Wenatchee High School, to go around it is 7/8 of a mile. Not that I'm counting. And I have no idea how many laps we made, but I'm sure we put a few miles on our shoes going through every single classroom. Mistakes are bound to happen in this process. And one of the fantastic things about the apprenticeship program is that there's journeyman level people behind them. We go around and we help them. If they're in an unfamiliar environment or they have a task that they're unfamiliar with, we're there to help. That is our job. And eventually, they're able to take that task and own it for themselves. Today, Amy and Peyton have, as I mentioned, moved to the 3rd tier of apprenticeship. They're able to handle the basic tasks on their own. We can dispatch them to room 14 to take care of a Chromebook issue. And if it's beyond their expertise, they can either bring it back if that's possible, or they call us down there. We're finally able to see what they call the reward of an apprenticeship. An extra set of hands. Granted, it's basic level troubleshooting, but if you ask any technician, if they can get basic level troubleshooting out of their hair, they can focus on the greater tasks, the harder tasks. That's what we've done for at least 2 hours a day for these technicians. So it's fantastic. As we gear up for the next change in the IT industry, I can say I'm proud to be a part of the apprenticeship program. I can contribute to the future of my career. Whether or not apprentices take off in IT, yet to be determined, but I can say that I've had a part in it. Remember also that sometimes change can be good, but often change is hard. I think every one of us in the room can agree that at least some change is hard, whether or not we like it. One change I had to make recently was moving to Wenatchee to find this wonderful job that I'm in. And that's not just to make my boss happy. But remember, change can be good. Change can be progress towards better. Change can affect later generations. I'll summarize by what I have as my personal mantra. It's a quote by Walt Disney. Walt Disney said, "Whatever you do it well. Do it so well that when people see you do it, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And they'll want to bring others to show them how well you do what you do." Remember that our youth look to you. You are the experts. You are the ones who inspire them. May we continue to inspire all those around us.